Top 10 Inventions in History. Human history is full of inventions that have radically changed the course of life. Since the beginning of life, humans have dreamed and created some amazing and sometimes unconventional inventions. Many developments have emerged in human life from the moment someone struck a rock on the ground to make the first sharp-edged tool, to the first appearance of the wheel, and even the development of spacecraft and the Internet. Some inventions can be classified as particularly revolutionary and unprecedented. Here are some of the most prominent. The wheel, 3500 BC. The invention of the wheel allowed for tremendous advances in transportation, agriculture, and construction. Before the invention of the wheel in 3500 BC, humans were severely limited in the amount of things that could be moved on the ground, and to what extent. According to David Anthony, professor of anthropology at Hardwick College, the wheel itself was not the most difficult part of inventing the wheel. When it came time to connect a non-moving platform to a rolling cylinder, things got tricky, explaining that the brilliantly successful stroke was the concept of the wheel and axles. For example, he added, the holes in the center of the wheels and the ends of the fixed axles had to be perfectly round and smooth, noting that the size of the axle was also a crucial factor, as was its stability within the hole. Wheeled carts then facilitated agriculture and trade by enabling the transport of goods to and from markets, as well as relieving the burdens of people traveling long distances. Today, wheels are vital to the way humans live, found in everything from clocks to vehicles to turbines. Electricity. The discovery of electricity was a cumulative process that took centuries of research and experimentation. There was no single discoverer of electricity, but rather a number of scientists contributed to its understanding and development. The discovery of electricity and the invention of tools that used it completely changed the daily lives of humans, such as the light bulb. All of these discoveries and developments led to the understanding and use of electricity as one of the most important sources of energy in the modern world.
The invention of printing is one of the most important developments in human history, and it radically changed the way knowledge and information were disseminated.
The main credit for this invention goes to Johannes Gutenberg, who in the mid-15th century invented the movable type printing press, which revolutionized the dissemination of knowledge and education. Before Gutenberg's invention, books were copied by hand by scribes, which was time-consuming and made books expensive and rare. Early printing systems also relied on engraved wooden plates, making changing texts a complex and expensive process. Gutenberg's main innovation was the use of movable type made of metal. Instead of carving the entire page into a wooden plate, The movable type could be arranged to be reused in different texts. Gutenberg also developed a printing press that used pressure technology to produce multiple copies of the same page faster and more efficiently. The first famous printed book using Gutenberg's technology is the Bible, which was printed around 1455 and is known as the Gutenberg Bible. This Bible was of high quality in printing and is considered one of the best examples of the art of printing. Thanks to this invention, printing became an integral part of everyday life and had a significant impact on the formation of modern civilization.
Steam engine, 18th century. The invention of the steam engine is one of the greatest achievements that paved the way for the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century. This invention contributed greatly to the development of industry and transportation, leading to radical changes in the economy and society. Before the invention of the steam engine, industry and agriculture relied heavily on manual or animal power, as well as water and wind power. There was an urgent need for a new, independent source of energy that could be used anywhere and at any time. The steam engine was not only an important invention for its time, but it was also the basis for later developments in the field of engines, such as internal combustion engines and electric motors.
The Internet, 1960 to 1990. It revolutionized communication and information technology, and changed lifestyles and work patterns. During this period, networks evolved from small research projects to a global network that connects millions of people. Here are some highlights. 1. Beginnings. The idea of the Internet began in the 1960s as a research project by the U.S. Department of Defense, where the ARPANET network was developed. 2. Expansion. In the 1970s and 1980s, networks expanded to include universities and research institutions, leading to the development of protocols such as TCP/IP. 3. World Wide Web. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, the World Wide Web was developed by Tim Berners-Lee, making the Internet more accessible and usable to everyone. 4. Social impact. The Internet has radically changed lifestyles and work patterns, making instant communication, access to vast amounts of information, and remote work possible.
Vaccines, 1796. The history of vaccines began in earnest in 1796, when English physician Edward Jenner developed the first smallpox vaccine using the cowpox virus. This discovery was a turning point in preventive medicine and contributed to saving millions of lives. The development of vaccines over time won the 19th century. After Jenner's success, other vaccines were developed, such as the rabies vaccine by Louis Pasteur in 1885. Two, the 20th century. This century witnessed the development of vaccines against many diseases such as polio, measles, and mumps. 3. The 21st century. With technological advances, new vaccines have been developed, such as the human papillomavirus vaccine and vaccines against COVID-19. Vaccines are considered one of the greatest medical achievements in history, as they have contributed to eliminating deadly diseases, reducing the spread of many infectious diseases, and saving millions of lives.
Telephone, 1876. Alexander Graham Bell's invention of the telephone in 1876 was a major turning point in the history of human communication. This invention opened a new door for human communication over long distances in a way that was not possible before. The development of the telephone over time. 1. The first invention. In 1876, Bell obtained a patent for the first telephone, which was based on converting sound into electrical signals. 2. Expansion and development. In the following decades, telephones were developed to become more efficient and easier to use, with the introduction of rotary dial telephones in the early 20th century. 3. Mobile phones. In 1973, the first mobile phone was invented by Martin Cooper, which allowed greater freedom of communication. 4. Smartphones. In the 21st century, we witnessed the emergence of smartphones that combine the functions of a phone and a computer, which revolutionized the way we communicate and use technology. The telephone was not just a means of communication, but it has become an essential part of our daily lives, facilitating many tasks and helping us stay in touch with the world.
Computer, 20th century. The invention of computers in the 20th century revolutionized many fields and radically changed the patterns of work, education, and technological innovation. Here is a look at the development of computers and their impact. 1. Beginnings. In 1833, Charles Babbage designed the first general-purpose mechanical computer, known as the analytical engine. 2. First generation. During World War II, the first general-purpose electronic computer, ENIAC, was developed and completed in 1946. 3. Second generation. In the 1950s, vacuum tubes were replaced by transistors, making computers smaller, faster, and more efficient. 4. Third generation. In the 1960s, integrated circuits were introduced, greatly increasing the speed and efficiency of computers. 5. The fourth generation. In the 1970s, microprocessors appeared, leading to the development of personal computers that became available to everyone. Six, 5G and beyond. In recent decades, we have witnessed the development of supercomputers and artificial intelligence, opening up new horizons in the fields of research and development. Computers have radically changed the way we work, learn and innovate, and have become an integral part of our daily lives.
The Wright brothers' first flight on December 17, 1903, in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, was a pivotal moment in the annals of human history. Orville and Wilbur Wright had meticulously designed and constructed their flyer, an aircraft that embodied years of experimentation, engineering brilliance, and sheer determination. The inaugural flight lasted a mere 12 seconds, covering a distance of just 37 meters. But it was a monumental leap for humankind, demonstrating the feasibility of sustained, controlled flight in a heavier-than-air machine. This success ignited the rapid development of aviation technology. In the years that followed, aircraft designs were swiftly refined, enhancing both range and speed. This period of accelerated innovation culminated in the extensive use of aircraft during World War I. The demands of military operations not only propelled advancements in aviation, but also highlighted the strategic importance of air power. The interwar period saw the emergence of commercial aviation in the 1920s and 1930s, bringing the dream of air travel to the general populace. Airlines such as Pan American and Imperial Airways began to offer scheduled passenger services, thus shrinking the world and making distant destinations more accessible. The mid-20th century marked another revolutionary phase with the advent of jet aircraft. These machines dramatically reduced travel time and increased the efficiency of flights, heralding a new era of global connectivity. The introduction of jet aircraft like the Boeing 707 and the Douglas DC-8 transformed both passenger and cargo transport, cementing air travel as a cornerstone of modern life. In contemporary times, aircraft technology has reached unprecedented levels of sophistication. Modern planes are equipped with state-of-the-art electronic navigation systems, advanced aerodynamics, and highly efficient engines. These innovations ensure not only increased safety and comfort for passengers, but also remarkable reliability and speed. The impact of aircraft extends beyond personal travel. The aviation industry plays a crucial role in global trade.
The discovery of penicillin was a major turning point in the history of medicine. In 1928, scientist Alexander Fleming accidentally noticed that a mold belonging to the genus Penicillium had grown in a culture dish of Staphylococcus bacteria, forming a bacteria-free circle around it. This discovery led to the development of the first effective antibiotic against bacteria, which was named penicillin. After Fleming's initial discovery, more research was conducted to develop penicillin and use it in treating bacterial infections. During World War II, penicillin was produced in large quantities to treat injured soldiers, which contributed to saving many lives. After the war, other antibiotics continued to be developed based on the same principles, leading to a revolution in the treatment of infectious diseases. Penicillin was not just a scientific discovery, but it was the beginning of a new era in medicine, as it became possible to treat many diseases that were previously considered fatal and contributed to saving the lives of millions. Each of these inventions has greatly contributed to changing and improving human lives across generations.